This is going to be a video to help you solve one-step equations with addition. Now, whenever I solve one-step equations, what I like to do is come up with a game plan on how to solve it, and then use that game plan to solve the problem. Let me show you what I mean. The problem I have is x plus 12 is equal to 9. To come up with a game plan, what I'm going to do is ask myself, what am I doing to x? And after I do that, I'm going to ask, how can I undo that? In this problem, I'm just adding 12 to x. So in the what am I doing to x column, I'm going to put down add 12. Now how can I undo adding 12? Well, there's two different ways to undo adding 12. The first way is by subtracting 12, or another way to think of that is by adding negative 12. Let me show you how I use that to solve this problem. The first thing I do whenever I solve equations is I make an x through the equal sign. That tells me whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I have to do the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. In this problem, I have to undo adding 12 to x. The way I do that is by subtracting 12 or adding negative 12. But if I do it on one side of the equation, in order to keep that equation balanced, I have to do it to the other side of the equation also. In this problem, I have positive 12 and negative 12 on the one side of the equation, and that's just going to be equal to 0. So I just have x left over. On the other side of the equation, I have 9 and negative 12, and that's going to be equal to negative 3. So the first problem, x is equal to negative 3. Let's do it one more time. This time my problem is going to be x plus negative 4 is equal to negative 13. In this problem, I'm adding negative 4 to x. And to undo that, I'm going to add a positive 4 to both sides. So I'm going to start by adding 4 to that side, but to keep the equation balanced, I have to add 4 to the other side also. Let's see what I have left. On this side of the equation, I have positive 4 and negative 4, and that's just going to make 0, so I'm just left with x. On the other side of the equation, I have negative 13 and positive 4. Now they work against each other. The negative wins the battle, and it wins it by 9, so my answer is negative 9. So the answer for this problem is x is equal to negative 9.